Some marriages are built on love, some on patience, and some on chocolate. But what if the sweetest things in your kitchens turned out to be the scariest? Tonight's story is about Daniel and Sophie, an ordinary couple who discover not so ordinary brownie recipe. And by the end of it, you'll never look at the dessert the same way again. So stay with me till the last bite, the last minute, because the recipe comes with a twist you'll never forget. And while we bake some actual fudge brownies, safe, delicious, and ghost free, let me tell you their story. Sophie loved baking. She said the kitchen was her happy place. Daniel loved eating and joking mostly. One rainy Saturday, while Sophie whisked cocoa and butter, Daniel rummaged through the attic looking for his missing toolbox. Instead, he stumbled to an old dusty notebook wedged behind the broken clock. Curious, he brought it down. Across the cover in faded golden letters it read, "Brownies of Eternal Love." Daniel laughed. Perfect, Sophie, finding a recipe that guarantees you'll never leave me. Sophie rolled her eyes but couldn't resist. She set the book on the counter, flipping through the pages filled with smudged chocolate stains and strange handwritten notes. The recipe looked simple enough: sugar, butter, eggs, cocoa, but with one odd instruction at the bottom: bake at midnight, but do not eat alone. Sophie chuckled. Well, lucky for us, we're married, let's try it. So they whisked, stirred, and poured. Daniel tried to help, cracking an egg straight onto the floor, then licking the spoon before it was ready. Sophie shook her head. Daniel, if the brownies don't kill us, your cooking will. They laughed, kissed and each other on the cheek, and placed the tray in the oven. But the moment the timer started, the kitchen lights flickered. Daniel grinned nervously. Guess even the ghost wants desserts. The first bite was heavenly good, gooey, rich, perfect, but Sophie cut the second slice. She froze. She swore she heard a faint whisper right by her ear. "One for me." She spun around. No one, just Daniel happily munching. The next morning, 3 brownies were gone. Sophie accused Daniel. He swore he hadn't touched them. That night, the oven door swung open on its own. The recipe notebook left shut and was now wide open, its words rearranged in cocoa dust. "Feed us." Daniel set up the camera, determined to prove it was all in Sophie's head. But when they watched the footage, both gasped. A shadowy figure crept into the kitchen at 3 a.m., picked up the brownie, and gave a thumbs up. Sophie raised an eyebrow. "Well, even the ghost approves more than you." "Great, now even afterlife is roasting me." They tried to laugh it off, but neither slept that night. A week later, the town announced a midnight bake-off contest. Sophie wanted to enter. Daniel argued, but finally agreed, taking the cursed notebook along. At the contest, oven lined in the hall. Bakers whisked, stirred, laughed. Sophie and Daniel mixed nervously, following the recipe step by step. But halfway through, strange things started. Other companions' oven malfunctioned, cake collapsing, mixers spraying flour like snowstorm. Meanwhile, Sophie and Daniel brownies rose higher and higher, almost glowing. When the judge took a bite, they froze. Their eyes glazed white. Their voice in unison whispered, "Forever, forever, and forever." Brownies floated off the tray, circling in the air like chocolate planets. Sophie clutched Daniel's arms. I think recipe is not about love between us." They ran out of the hall, tray of cursed brownies floating behind them like an army of chocolate soldiers. The chanting from the crowd still echoed in the air. "Feed us, feed us, feed us." Daniel tripped over the shoelace. "Great, Sophie, my obituary is going to read, 'Killed by a baked good.'" They reached the riverbank. Sophie tried to throw the tray in, but the brownies hovered over the water, refusing to sink. Instead, they began to multiply, splitting into dozens of smaller glowing cubes that formed a circulating storm over the couple's head. Daniel screamed, ducking. "It's raining brownies, and not the good kind." Sophie's eyes fell off the cursed recipe book. Still clutched in her flour-dusted hands, she realized the last line, "Bake at midnight. Do not eat alone," was actually a warning. "It's not about eating," she gasped. "It's about burning." Daniel blinked. Wait. You mean we have to rebake the brownies to kill them?" "Exactly." The couple sprinted back into the bake-off hall, brownies chasing them like buzzing bees. They shoved the tray into the oven and cranked the heat as high as it would go. The brownies screamed. Yes, they actually screamed as smoke curled inside the oven. The hall shook, the lights flickered, and then silence. When the oven dinged the open door carefully, inside was nothing but ash and one single perfectly harmless burnt to a crisp brownie. Daniel poked it with a spatula. Is it dead? The brownie twitched. The Daniel shrieked, slammed the oven shut, and Sophie quickly unplugged it. They collapsed, laughing, the panting covered into the flour and soaked. Sophie dipped a finger in the leftover chocolate batter, still smeared on her apron, and fed it to Daniel. Here, real brownies, no ghost. Daniel licked it dramatically, sweet, safe, and just how I like my marriage. They laughed together, holding hands as the camera pulled away. But in the background, the unplugged oven door cracked open by itself, and the faint smell of chocolate filled the air. Daniel and Sophie sat together, brownie tray in front of them. And that's how we survive the haunted brownie recipe. Barely survive. I'm never going to bake after midnight. He pretends to listen, then jumps as if hearing a whisper. Wait, did you hear that? Relax, it's just the oven timer. Sophie laughs. Now let's finish making the real fudge brownies. Delicious, safe, and perfect for sharing. No ghost included. But if you don't want the YouTube algorithm hunting you, hit like, share, and subscribe. Join us for more spooky, fun food stories, sweet, safe, and sometimes little scary. Bake, laugh, and repeat. And that's the tale of haunted brownie recipe. Love can be sweet, marriage can be messy, but cursed brownies, well, those are the recipe best left unbaked. Unless, of course, you're hungry enough to risk it. The story ends here. See you next time.